Studio 33 AD, Catholic Media.
Many of you have been wondering while sitting here in the cathedral, and as you look up to heaven, you notice there's a light bulb out. So how do you change a light bulb in the cathedral? Fortunately, we have Dan Gamboa here, who's going to solve this mystery for us. So Dan, we're up here now in the choir loft, and this is the beginning of a secret passage that will remain secret because it's locked.
Always locked.
That's right. So it's not that you have to try to find it, and nothing about opening a book
Nope,
and then
nope.
a panel.
No special things like that.
So we'll be locked. So for you folks at home, this is as good as it gets. A virtual reality tour, how to change a light bulb in the cathedral. All right, so Dan, you just lead the way here. So this is pretty good here, see? So this is all locked. Now we're moving into the inner sanctum. Whoa. Here we see the actual foundation of the cathedral, and the facade on this is the sandstone. But here you see what the bulk of the outside of the cathedral was constructed of in this red brick. And because we are safety conscious here at St. John's Cathedral, we have the fire alarm here. And this was installed several years ago. This is the emergency exit. So we have all of that in place. So now we're in the North Tower. I think this is where Dan likes to spend his downtime.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of like Quasimodo at Notre Dame in Paris. This is where he comes to kind of get away from it all. Wow, look at this. Actually, you get this whole facade. Whoa. Well, not the facade. This is actually the foundation. And on the outside of it, we've got the sandstone. Okay. Now, here comes the fun part. This, for the changing of light bulbs, we have actually a built-in limitation on the human component. You have to be able to crawl through this hole. All right, so Dan, you go first just in case there's dragons or something in there. We're gonna let him go. Look at that, he just makes it look easy. And special for us, he came in early, and I think he put down a little carpet here. So I'm actually checking this out. All right, we'll go dark now because Ashley also has to join us. So now you see Ashley emerging from the secret passage. All right, and now we got to make our way up. But here you can begin to take in. Here's the front of the cathedral, the foundation. And now here's our walkway, stairway to heaven. And there's our guardian angel. We got Dan Gamboa at the top. And in a moment, we'll give you a full sense of what you see above all of this. So in a sense, it's almost like Noah's Ark, upside down.
Yeah.
And there you have the foundation, under which we have the canvas that was utilized. Canvas was selected because that way it's much lighter. There's already plenty of weight on this roof because the roof tiles are slate. So as you can see, this isn't Dan's first rodeo. See, he's even got his light on. All right, we're gonna go to our number one camera person, Ashley. There we go. All right, so Dan, we're at the very top of the cathedral. So we're standing above, I guess, our choir loft.
Yep.
And now we're gonna make our way to the center because that's where we had those two burnout bulbs.
Yep.
All right, so here we go, following Dan.
There's CY4 going across. Try to set on top.
Do not try this at home.
We have one of those security. Get to this light. On the left. The original frame roof.
So just as you think you have it all figured out how to walk on this is like golf. See, they put a little trap, like a sand trap right here.
Yeah.
All right, you got to make sure you get around this because we're going for par.
this is the panel for the heat tape on the roof.
We got the panel. And Dan, is this
That's
board
the-
right here, is that like an arrow?
So that's the
Which way to go?
original piece of wood that they used to hold the roof originally.
Oh, wow, so this is original century-old timber.
Yep.
Now, they took it down on purpose. This didn't
Right.
like fall down.
Because they put the metal pieces that hold the whole roof in place.
Ah, there we go.
Those A's, that's where those were originally.
Wow, and this roof, it goes up sharp.
It's a steep one.
Yeah, but then you have this great bend here, and below us is all that canvas.
Yep.
Which is not going to hold us if we break through, so be
No.
very careful, Ashley. I'm already hearing the bells. Hopefully the bell doesn't toll for you. We're hearing the bells directly above us. Not so long ago, our man Dan Gamboa
Used to ring it.
installed those electronic bells, where before we had one bell in the south tower. That was the good news. The bad news is the south tower, as we saw, was all that red brick. So it insulated the sound. So now we have a sound system up above here in the steeple. So Dan's been way to the top, but we're staying focused. We're focused on how to change a light bulb in the cathedral. Right, Dan, what's the next move here?
Step onto this. Hold on to this.
Well, you're gonna step onto that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So we just stand here.
Just watch? Okay.
Yeah, we just watch from here. OSHA concern, just in case. There we go. Dan goes, so he got his footing. All right.
So with these light bulbs, you can't touch them. The oil on your skin will pop. So you gotta take them out, box, your gloves.
So Dan, that's the replacement bulb there?
Yes.
Is it just that single one?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Wow, that emits a lot of light then.
500 watts. And that's what your burned out bulb looks like.
About how long does a light bulb last? If you're lucky.
Trick question here. I'd say about 2-3 months with how often they're on.
So that means, folks at home, our man Dan Gamboa, he's up here a lot. We have a lot of ceiling lights,
Yep.
which were new to the cathedral. In 1979, when we had the first renovation, that's when these lights were installed. Before that, in the cathedral, from its inception in 21 till 1979, there were chandeliers. And we have a few of those chandeliers that you can still find here in Boise. One we have in the vesting room here in the cathedral. There's another that was repurposed and is now the chandelier at the Eucharistic Chapel at Sacred Heart. But meanwhile, since 1979, it's been brave people like Dan who go off the beaten path to swap out these light bulbs.
And that's it.
Well, Dan's just making it look easy. All right, but he's going to do it now a second time.
Yep, I gotta go on over there.
All right, here we have a chance.
Let's see. Right here you can see when they put up this red beam in 1979, and then when they did the heat sensors in 1975.
All right, now Dan is performing without a net.
Yeah.
He is off the grid because the board right here was too short anyhow. He wasn't going to make it there. So our man with courage, there he is, a few boards in. All right, so you have to take out the whole housing.
Yeah. Only 2 clips hold it in. So.
And Ashley, fortunately, we've got light up here because otherwise, here, if you don't have help from the sun, it'd be very dark up here.
That's it.
There we go. For the last several years, Dan Gamboa making it look easy. For us to be able to come here to St. John's Cathedral and worship.
Have some light.
All right. So, Dan, about how many times have you been up here? Have you lost count?
Oh yeah, in the last 5 years, over 100.
Over 100 times.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite corner? You like to come up and kind of.
If I honestly could be truthful, I like climbing that ladder and going to the turret.
All right, we got to backtrack for this. Let's see this. Let's see this, and this will be our teaser for the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So for now, Dan's just going to give us a little teaser of what he does on a consistent basis to go up into the turret, where now we have our bells situated.
Bell system
And every now and then you got to go up there, maybe if birds got in.
yeah, it's actually bird caged in basically, so it's pretty much cleaner than down here.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Okay. And that goes up high. There he goes, our man Dan again, making it look easy. Disappearing into the shadows. All righty, that was the first ladder. And then that transitions
To a little ladder.
into a little ladder. And then there's a trap door. And that's how one would gain access. There it is, daylight to the turret. There we have it. Look at that.
Just like that. Pretty clean.
And
up here.
Dan timed it perfectly. A few minutes earlier, you heard the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have, been covering his
Pretty
ears.
loud up here.
There we go. All right, so now we know. Dan's favorite perch here on the space above our sanctuary. As we are situated, we can now look to the north, to the right side, and we would see the outside of that with that window. And again, we have that same curvature. As I noted earlier, the weight of the tile roofs, since they're made of slate, already puts a lot of stress on this foundation. So the architects decided the best idea for the covering for the ceiling in the cathedral was to use the canvas. And that's attached to this wooden frame. And you genuine carpenters, you recognize here, these are the real 2x4s.
Yes.
Before they were kind of shimmied down.
Perfect squares.
Yeah.
Perfect edges.
This is the real thing. Okay. Well, Dan, we want to thank you for bringing us along on this cathedral joyride.
Little adventure.
Yep. And we hope to see you back here soon on Studio 33 AD.
Perfect.
Studio 33 AD, Catholic Media.